Celebrating the release and amnesty of the former First Lady Simone Gbagbo. Her husband, Laurent Gbagbo, has been in detention at the International Criminal Court in The Hague since 2011. They were arrested for their role in political violence that claimed several thousand lives following the 2010 elections in the Ivory Coast.
Free at last. Former Ivory Coast First Lady Simone Gbagbo was sentenced to a 20-year jail term for endangering state security in 2015. She was found guilty of many crimes, including masterminding the 2011 shelling of a market in an Abidjan district that supported President Alassane Ouattara. Last week, she was released after being granted amnesty by President Ouattara.
Today, she's released. But you must know that this is not a decision of Mr. Ouattara. Right now, Mr. Ouattara is under pressure. He got the pressure of international community, and on the political ground at home, is isolated. The PDC high, a heavyweight in the political landscape in Ivory Coast, left the coalition. And his own people, his own supporter, turned against him today. They claiming the return of Laurent Gbagbo. So that's the reality in Ivory Coast. Ouattara is isolated. And in fact, people must know that Ouattara, we are not fighting for Ouattara. Ouattara is a mask that the France is using to fight with us.
About 3,000 people died in post-election violence in the country's commercial capital, Abidjan, when Laurent Gbagbo refused to accept defeat to Ouattara following presidential elections in November 2010, but his party maintains his innocence.
President Laurent Gbagbo was elected as the president of the country, then a rebellion came, and in the process, people died. But today we have most of the people who are in jail are the people from the Ivorian Popular Front, are those who support or who supported President Laurent Gbagbo. What about those who caused the war? What about those who came into the country through a rebellion?
Ivorians in South Africa were joined by political parties from other African countries.
We are here as the African. In the name of our continent, we must be united.
First, we thank the government of Ivory Coast for this great privilege and to show the world their great leadership by releasing Simone Gbagbo.
Now there is a new way that people must understand that there's a change. People must go in a good politics in life. So we thank God.
Like the Gbagbos, many of these Ivorians still fear that they too will be arrested if they return home. Meanwhile, Laurent Gbagbo's trial that started at the ICC 2 years ago continues. Ntakwana Ngatani, SABC News, Johannesburg.